Have you ever wondered why some people think they can play games with your life and get away with it? Someone in your life didn't realize this truth until they encountered you. They underestimated you, thinking you'd be part of their circus, a willing participant in their drama. But you walked away. Here's why that decision was powerful. They believed you would dance to their tune, participate in their petty competitions, get tangled in their web of control tactics. They painted themselves as puppet masters, pulling strings and setting traps, expecting you to jump through their hoops. But they didn't realize that you were watching, observing their every move with keen eyes. They tried to lure you in with arguments designed to drain your energy, competitions that served no purpose other than to inflate their egos, and control tactics meant to box you into a corner. They thrived on the chaos they created, thinking they could dictate your moves. They were strategic in their attempts, weren't they? Every argument was a test, every competition a way to see how far they could push you. They played on your emotions, twisting your words, making you question your own reality. They thought they could mold you, shape you into the perfect pawn for their game. But while they were busy crafting their illusions, they forgot one thing. You weren't there to play. You were there to observe, to learn, and to decide when it was time to walk away. As they set their traps, they believed they were clever, that they were the architects of your downfall. They wanted you to feel powerless, to believe that you needed their approval, their validation. They used guilt, shame, and fear as tools to keep you in line, hoping you wouldn't see through their carefully constructed facade. But what they didn't realize was that you were never truly trapped. You were simply biding your time, waiting for the right moment to make your move. But you saw through their facade, didn't you? You realized that the only prize they were offering was chaos, dressed up as something desirable. Behind every promise was emptiness. Behind every smile was a hidden agenda. You recognized the pattern, the same games played over and over with the same empty rewards. They offered you breadcrumbs, expecting you to be grateful, to settle for the scraps they tossed your way. But you're not the kind to accept less than you deserve. You knew you deserved more, and that was their first mistake. They underestimated your ability to see beyond the surface, to recognize the emptiness of their offers. You understood that their so-called prizes were nothing more than distractions, designed to keep you hooked, to keep you participating in their circus. But you didn't need their approval, their validation, or their crumbs. You knew your worth, and you weren't afraid to walk away from anything that didn't align with your spirit. It was a rude awakening for them when they realized you weren't buying into their games. They couldn't fathom how someone could see through the elaborate charades they had crafted. They had invested so much in maintaining control, in keeping up appearances, that they never considered the possibility of losing you. But once you recognized the futility of their games, it was over. You didn't need to argue, to explain, or to justify your decision. You simply walked away, leaving them to deal with the consequences of their own actions. Walking away, such a simple act yet so profound. It shifts the power dynamic entirely. No longer were you a pawn in their game. You had your that's it, that's all moment, a decisive point where you chose to leave. In that instant, you reclaimed your power. Walking away isn't just about physically removing yourself from a situation. It's about reclaiming your energy, your time, your peace. It's about deciding that you will no longer entertain anything that doesn't serve your highest good. When you walked away, you left them standing in the ruins of the circus they built. They were shocked, confused. How could someone walk away from the drama, the chaos they had meticulously crafted? They had banked on you staying, on you needing them as much as they thought you did. But they were wrong. Walking away was your declaration of independence, your statement that you would no longer be controlled by anyone's games. It was the ultimate act of self-love and self-respect. As you walked away, you felt the weight of their expectations, their demands, their manipulations lift off your shoulders. You realized that you had been carrying their burdens for too long, and it was time to set yourself free. The moment you decided to leave, you reclaimed your power, your autonomy, your life. It was as if a door had been opened, and on the other side was the freedom you had always deserved. Walking away wasn't just an escape, it was a triumphant return to yourself. Walking away was more than just a physical act, it was a spiritual declaration. It was you standing in your truth, acknowledging that you are not a puppet to be controlled, but a powerful being with the right to choose your own path. It was about reclaiming your narrative, refusing to let anyone else dictate the course of your life. It was about realizing that your peace, your happiness, your well-being are not negotiable, and that you have the strength to walk away from anything or anyone that threatens them. Last season, you might have entertained the drama, played along just to see how far it would go. You might have engaged, thinking there was something to be gained, some lesson to be learned from the chaos. But this season, you're taming the chaos, not feeding it. This is the season of your elevation, where you rise above the petty games, the manipulations, the attempts to control you. You've outgrown their drama, and they can't stand it. Walking away wasn't just a move of self-respect. It was a declaration of your strength, a symbol of your growth and evolution. You've become someone who no longer needs to prove themselves to others, who no longer seeks validation from those who can't even validate themselves. Your decision to walk away wasn't just about escaping the chaos, it was about stepping into a higher version of yourself, one that is aligned with peace, purpose and power. You've ascended, and now you only entertain what elevates you. As you elevate, you find that the things that once held you back no longer have any power over you. The games, the manipulations, the petty competitions, they all seem so small from where you stand now. You've risen above the noise, above the distractions, and you're now focused on your true path. You're no longer interested in playing games, you're interested in building a life that resonates with your spirit. This season is about growth, about expansion, about becoming the person you were always meant to be. Your elevation isn't just about distancing yourself from the drama, it's about stepping into your power as a creator of your own destiny. You've realized that you don't need to engage in their games to prove your worth. Your worth is inherent, undeniable, and you no longer waste your energy on anything that doesn't honor that truth. You've outgrown the smallness of their world, and now you're creating a world that reflects the greatness within you. This is your season of elevation, and nothing can stop your rise. You are not an option, you are the main attraction. You've come to understand your worth, and you won't settle for anything less than what resonates with your spirit. This is your divine truth. You are chosen, and you have no need to chase validation from anyone who can't see your light. For too long, you might have allowed others to define your worth, to tell you what you could or couldn't be. But those days are over. You've taken back the power to define yourself, and in doing so, you've stepped into your true identity as a chosen one. Recognizing your worth isn't just about knowing you deserve more. It's about embodying that truth in everything you do. It's about setting boundaries, saying no to what doesn't serve you, and yes to what elevates you. It's about walking in your power, knowing that you are divinely guided and protected. You are not here to be an extra in someone else's story. You are here to be the star of your own. And now that you've realized that, there's no turning back. This realization has transformed the way you see yourself and the world around you. You no longer seek approval from those who can't even approve of themselves. You no longer look for validation in places where you'll never find it. Instead, you've turned inward, connecting with the divine within you. And from that place, you found your true worth. You are the main attraction, the star of your own life, and you no longer need anyone else's permission to shine. The journey to recognizing your worth wasn't easy, but it was necessary. You had to go through the fire, to face the trials and tribulations, to emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self. Now, you stand tall in your power, fully aware of who you are and what you bring to the table. You no longer accept anything that doesn't align with your spirit, because you know that you are deserving of the best. You are chosen, and with that knowledge comes a responsibility, to honor yourself, to protect your energy, and to never settle for less than what you deserve. You were a gift in their lives, sent for a reason, but they didn't appreciate what you brought to the table. They fumbled the chance to walk alongside someone destined for greatness, but that's their loss, not yours. You've learned to value yourself, and you refuse to allow others to diminish your light. You see, your presence in their lives was a blessing, a chance for them to rise, to evolve. But instead of seeing the gift, they chose to play games, to manipulate, to control. And now they have to live with the consequences of their choices. Your true gift is not just your presence, it's your energy, your wisdom, your love. It's the way you inspire others to be better, to reach higher, to dream bigger. But not everyone is ready to receive that gift, and that's okay. You've learned that your light is not meant for everyone, and that's why you're no longer dimming it for anyone. You are a beacon, a light worker, a force of nature. And those who are meant to be in your life will recognize and honor that. The rest will simply fall away as they should. The gift you bring is priceless, and it's not something that can be measured by material standards. It's the way you lift others up, the way you see the potential in everyone, the way you bring light into the darkest of situations. But you've also learned that not everyone is capable of receiving your gift, and that's not your burden to carry. Your responsibility is to continue shining, to continue being the light, and to trust that those who are meant to walk with you will find their way to you. You've also come to understand that your gift is sacred, and it's not to be wasted on those who don't appreciate it. You've learned to discern who is worthy of your energy, your time, your love, and who is not. And in that discernment, you found peace. You no longer feel the need to save everyone, to be everything to everyone. You've realized that your gift is meant for those who are ready to receive it, and for those who aren't, it's best to let them go. You are the gift. And now you've learned to value yourself as such. Now they're stuck with the mess they created, surrounded by false friends and shallow connections. The very games they played to trap you have ensnared them instead. They remain in their stagnant, low vibrational lives, facing the consequences of their actions. They thought they could play with fire without getting burned, but now they're feeling the heat. Their lives are a reflection of the energy they put out, chaotic, unfulfilling, and ultimately empty. While you've moved on to bigger and better things, they're stuck in the same old cycle, repeating the same mistakes, dealing with the same drama. They played stupid games, and now they're reaping the rewards, stupid prizes that bring them nothing but misery. They thought they could win by manipulating you, but all they've won is a one-way ticket to a life of dissatisfaction and regret. Meanwhile, you're flourishing, thriving, growing, everything they could have been if they had chosen differently. As they continue to play their games, they find themselves surrounded by people who are just like them, manipulative, self-serving, and incapable of genuine connection. Their lives are filled with superficial relationships, shallow interactions, and a constant sense of emptiness. They thought they could build something meaningful through deception and control, but all they've built is a house of cards, ready to collapse at any moment. And while they're busy trying to keep their fragile world intact, you're out there living your best life, free from their toxicity. The stupid prize they won is a life of mediocrity, of unfulfilled potential, of never quite reaching the heights they could have if they had chosen differently. They're stuck in a cycle of their own making, unable to break free because they refuse to change. They thought they could outsmart you, but in the end they outsmarted themselves, and now they're left to deal with the consequences of their actions, while you've moved on to greater things. The prize they won is a life of regret, of what could have been, and there's nothing they can do to change it. Their life is now a repetitive cycle of disappointment, a carousel of missed opportunities. They had the chance to rise with you, to step into the light, but they chose otherwise. Now they're left behind, spinning in circles while you ascend. They'll keep repeating the same patterns, attracting the same toxic people, facing the same challenges, all because they refuse to learn the lesson you mastered, that true power comes from within, not from controlling others. They'll continue to chase after validation, approval, and attention, but it will always elude them. Why? Because they've built their lives on a foundation of games and manipulation, and that's a shaky foundation at best. They missed the chance to grow, to evolve, to become better versions of themselves. Now they're stuck in a loop, watching from the sidelines as you soar to new heights, And until they wake up and realize the truth, that's where they'll stay, trapped in their own circus, winning nothing but stupid prizes. Their refusal to change, to evolve, keeps them locked in a cycle of their own making. They keep repeating the same mistakes, expecting different results, but that's the very definition of insanity. They're stuck in a loop, chasing after the same empty rewards and wondering why they're never satisfied. They thought they could rise by pulling others down, but all they've done is dig themselves deeper into their own pit of despair. And now, as you rise, they're left to watch from the bottom, wondering how they got it so wrong. The continuous cycle they're trapped in is one of their own creation. They keep attracting the same toxic people, the same drama, the same chaos, because that's all they know. They've never taken the time to look within, to heal the wounds that keep them stuck, and so they keep repeating the same patterns. Meanwhile, you've broken free, you've ascended, and you're living a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. They had the chance to rise with you, but they chose to stay in the circus, and now they're paying the price. This season, you're moving on to bigger and better things. No more pouring your energy into bottomless cups. You've learned that closing doors, even when it hurts, is necessary to open new opportunities. The journey is emotional, but you're ready. You've shed the old skin, leaving behind what no longer serves you, and now you're stepping into a new chapter filled with promise and potential. As you embrace this new path, you're surrounded by abundance, peace, and joy. The road ahead may have its challenges, but you're equipped with the wisdom and strength to navigate it with grace. You're no longer bound by the limitations others tried to place on you. You're free, and in that freedom, you're discovering a life that resonates with your true self. Each step you take is a step toward your destiny, and you're no longer afraid to walk alone if that's what it takes. As you move forward, you're embracing the unknown with open arms. You're no longer afraid of what lies ahead because you know that you're guided by a higher power. You've learned to trust the process, to have faith that everything is unfolding as it should. The path you're on now is one of alignment, where every step you take brings you closer to your true purpose. You've let go of the past, and now you're focused on the future, a future that's filled with endless possibilities. Moving forward also means embracing the lessons you've learned along the way. You've gained wisdom, strength, and resilience from the challenges you've faced, and now you're using those lessons to create a life that's true to who you are. You're no longer defined by the opinions of others or the circumstances of your past. You're defined by your own choices, your own actions, and your own beliefs. And as you continue on this path, you're creating a life that's a true reflection of your higher self. Choosing yourself is the most powerful decision you can make. Self-love, self-respect, these are your guiding principles now. You've aligned with your higher self, and you're free to attract what truly resonates with your spirit. No longer are you chasing after things that drain you. Instead, you're attracting everything that uplifts you. You're choosing peace over chaos, love over fear, and abundance over scarcity. In choosing yourself, you've become magnetic, drawing in people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your soul's purpose. You're living in alignment with your true self, and that's the greatest gift you could give yourself. The power of choosing yourself lies in the fact that it sets the tone for how others will treat you. When you value yourself, you teach others to value you too. And now that you've made that choice, you're unstoppable. This is your season, and nothing can hold you back. Choosing yourself also means setting boundaries, knowing when to say no, and not feeling guilty about it. It means prioritizing your well-being, your happiness, and your peace above all else. You've learned that you can't pour from an empty cup, and so you're committed to filling your own cup first. You're no longer sacrificing your needs for the sake of others, especially those who don't appreciate your efforts. You've realized that your first responsibility is to yourself, and you're honoring that truth every day. The power of choosing yourself is transformative. It's a declaration to the universe that you are worthy of the best, and that you're no longer settling for anything less. It's a shift in mindset, from one of scarcity to one of abundance. You've let go of the need to please others, and now you're focused on pleasing yourself. You've embraced the truth that you are enough, just as you are, and that you deserve all the good that life has to offer. By choosing yourself, you've opened the door to a life of fulfillment, joy, and true happiness. They played stupid games, and they won stupid prizes. You walked away, and that was your victory. You are growing daily, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Remember, you are not part of anyone's circus. You are the main attraction. Continue to choose yourself, honor your value, and never settle for less than what you deserve. The path ahead is full of promise, and it's yours to claim. Thank you for your unwavering support. For those new to our community, welcome. Together we grow, we learn, and we rise.